Hello, traders. FS Speculator here. Today is Thursday, and it is April 10th. How is everybody doing this evening? Everybody surviving these crazy markets we've been having? Because they definitely have been pretty wild. There's no doubt about that. How's everybody doing today? Hey, Surds E, how's it going? Carl, how's it going tonight? Oh man, US 500. Yeah, no problem. As usual, I'll start off looking at the US dollar index, but definitely take requests as they come in. So if you have something you want me to look at, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to check it out for you. Not a problem whatsoever. So, anyways, yeah, man, this euro dollar is just all over the place. I would have definitely, and I probably did say yesterday that I definitely would have expected this move down right here to be a correction because of the daily time frame. And I mean, it still could be. I mean, it's a very soft move down, but it is still possible that it is a correction. And the reason why I would be so confident of that is that this is five ways down with a breaker structure. This is five ways down with a breaker structure, and this is clearly an impulsive move down too. So it seems to me to be a very clear five-way pattern down. Excuse me, sorry about that. So, anyways, if that's a nice clear five-way pattern down, then you would expect this breaker structure to at least be an ABC correction. You'd kind of expect this move down to be like a B, then go up and make a C, and then later on go down. But if it does just keep going down, to be honest with you, it does kind of make sense to me because the very high time frames are definitely down. And I've been forecasting for a while that this is likely going to just keep going down. So I still think this is eventually going to make its way here. I was kind of hoping to see a better pullback on sort of time frames to get a nice sword, but I would not be surprised if the dollar just kept on going down overall. I'm definitely very, very, very bearish the dollar, which I have been for quite some time now. Definitely looks like the dollar should go down to me. It's continue down. But boy, it doesn't look like it made a proper ABC correction unless this right here really is an expanding flat, which doesn't really look like an expanding flat. That seems way too steep to be an expanding flat. I'd have to throw some fib levels on there and check it out, I guess, but definitely seems way too steep to be an expanding flat, that's for sure. So anyways, yeah, let's see here. Serge, what do you think about oil? Yeah, let me check out oil. We're right at a fib level. I still think on the higher time frames, which for me is the most important time frame, that this looks like a wave A, that this looks like a wave B, and it looks like it potentially could go up and make a wave C. I've been forecasting for a while that eventually, which obviously it hasn't done yet, it's going to turn up for a wave C, probably to about $100 a barrel. And this would be the wave A right here. That would be your corrective A, B, C, or B. And then eventually back down for a big move down is what I think is going to happen. So if you zoom out or go to a higher time frame, we're right at a Fibonacci retracement of the whole push up that we recently, well, not recently, but the push up we had in the 2021 time period. We are currently at the 61% of that nice impulsive move up, definitely five ways up. This is definitely impulsive to me. This whole thing right here looks like impulsive up, corrective down, which is why I think it should lead to another impulsive up to complete the corrective wave B, and then likely go down for a big old wave C. I think there's a chance at some point oil could go down to like $36 a barrel, but that's probably a couple years away. Sort of time frames, I would be looking for reasons to go long, honestly. But I would be a little bit cautious because it hasn't really even broken structure yet, has it? It looks like a complete five-wave downtrend, definitely. I guess you could say that's a breaker structure. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say if that spike right there, you should count it or not. You probably should, honestly, but yeah, I mean, I would kind of hope to see it push up. Maybe it's just trying to make a double bottom because technically you got to count that spike right there. So technically it never broke structure. It might just be doing like a wave five or something, make like a double bottom and then reverse back up. I would definitely be keeping an eye out for proof that it's going up, like a nice breaker structure. Like over here, nice breaker structure, and then start looking for little zigzag patterns, little zigzags, zigzag, zigzag, ABC, ABC, zigzag, ABC. Oh, breaker structure, zigzag, 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 ABC. Three-way pullbacks on shorter time frames. So far, there's no proof that it's going up, unfortunately, so I would still be on the short side. at least for now. I personally think that the S&P 500 is craziness, honestly. I mean, what else would you call it? But I think we're in a wave B. I think the wave B might even already be over, honestly. Definitely kind of looks like it to me. I don't know. Kind of looks like it's going back down. It looks like it made an ABC correction to me. I would be bearish. Fibonacci retracement on the last impulsive move. 1, 2, 3 waves up. 61% Fibonacci. Obviously, it overshot that Fibonacci level a little bit, but yeah, definitely bearish. I'd be looking for pullback entries to go short, to be honest with you. I don't know. That big tariff news, the big tariffs on China, 125% tariffs on China was a pretty big deal. Definitely drove the stock market up dramatic yesterday, but it's already recovered a lot. I guess technically I would probably have my Fibonacci from here to here because this should be areas of support, even if it does keep going down, which obviously it already has been acting as support. It already bounced from the 50% as support, but that doesn't mean it's over. It might just be in a little pullback to the downtrend. So depending on what time frame you're trading, I'd probably be looking for shorts, but I'm actually a big believer. I have a hard time trading the indices because I feel like if I traded the indices, I wouldn't actually trade them. I would just like literally buy every pullback I saw. You know, if I had like $1,000, I would buy 200 there, 200 there, 200 there, 200 there, 200 there. If I had 10,000, I would buy 2 grand, 2 grand, 2 grand, 2 grand, 2 grand. You know, every single time it went down, I would just buy. I wouldn't be selling the indices. I'd be casting out near the highs, hopefully, or near a double top break of structure at least, which you had here. Notice the double top break of structure at an important Fibonacci level, the 178% Fibonacci extension. I don't know. I mean, for me, with Elliott waves, I would say that likely something like this is going to happen. But on the shorter time frames, it does look pretty bearish. Looks pretty bearish. What's the Nasdaq look like? Oh yeah, the Nasdaq definitely. I looked at them both briefly earlier, and I recommended bearish to people that today in my Zoom meeting this afternoon. Now look at that, 3 waves up right to a Fibonacci level. Come on now, impulsive up, spike reversal, wave A, impulsive down, corrective up, impulsive down. So down, up, down, wave B, impulsive up, Fibonacci level, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Looks like we're going down to me, honestly. I think I would have to be bearish again. It looks pretty bearish to me, honestly. So yeah, I would definitely be bearish on the stock market still. Yeah, no problem. US dollar Swiss. Yeah, I mean, geez, I hope you've been sorting the US dollar Swiss. We're at all time, not this one, but a lot of the other Swiss pairs were at all time lows. I feel like this over here is going to potentially be an important area, which we just barely hit today, didn't we? Yeah, we just hit it today. It should be in a pretty important area for support, but if it's a wave C like it looks like it is, then it might not be as important as we might think. Can't get all that in the screen. 3 waves of A, one big old giant ABCDE for the wave B. Take out these lows by probably more than we've already have, and then eventually, like down here, probably turn up for a wave C is what I would expect. But definitely still downtrend. But this should be a pretty important area for support, shouldn't it? Definitely would think so. Pound Aussie. I've been long on the Euro Aussie for a few. I've been long twice on the Euro Aussie today, but I'm still long on the Euro Aussie. I'm still trying to maintain that trade while doing this meeting. I'm hoping for one more little push up. Technically, the 30-minute did close inside, but it did not close bearish engulfing, so I did not get out. One more little push, and I'd be pretty happy with that. Definitely would not recommend anything except for shorts on the US dollar Swiss. Definitely, it should be an area for support, and I guess technically it probably already did react to that area once, but boy, it blew right past that area like it didn't even care, didn't it? So, and it totally looks like a wave one, wave two, wave three. So even if it does start to push up, it's more than likely a wave four. It's probably going to go down again. So I would be recommending shorts all the way, 100% shorts. So let's see here. If anybody has any requests, definitely put them in the chats. Be more than happy to look at anything. I'm watching the chats on YouTube because I'm also watching my charts on a different screen, and I'm watching Discord on my other fourth screen. So yeah, if anybody has something they would like me to look at, definitely put it in the chats on YouTube, and I will check it out for you. If you haven't done so, definitely do join my free Discord channel. It is 100% free to join. The link is in the description and in the chats on the live stream. Let's see here. Your US dollar. I haven't even looked at it since the beginning of the meeting. I'm currently in a buy on the Euro Aussie too, but I might get out depending on what it does over the next hour or so. I'm currently long the Euro Aussie also. Euro dollar went up and made a new high again. I warned about this morning in my morning video because it totally looks like a wave five. The part that kind of throws you off is it kind of looks like three waves up right there, but I don't think it is. I think it's just tricking us. One, two, three. That spike is the three. That push down is the four, and then that's the five. And then you got a perfect ABC. And then you got a nice push up right here. And then, let's see here. 82, where we at now? I don't even know the numbers. I never really pay attention to the numbers. Yeah, I'm targeting a little bit higher than that, but not much higher. So more than likely, this is a wave four that we had, just really odd looking. And this is like a one, two, three, four, five. So there's your A, B, C of four. And that wave four is also about the same size as this wave two. So that means that wave four right there is almost definitely a wave four. And this is five waves up for the wave five. And we just took out the highs today by just a couple pips that I've been talking about. Most wave ones or wave A's take out, no matter what time frame you're talking about, most of the time they take out the high of the previous wave B or the previous wave X if you're talking about like a WXY. So more times than not, the wave one or the wave A will take out the highs of the previous correction. It might go up a little bit more because technically the previous correction I think is right here, so it might go up a little bit more. But I do think it is possibly going to turn down, ending this five-way pattern at some point. I guess I'm going to have to put it like this too, because the pound dollar definitely looks like a five-way pattern. It's kind of, you could almost say that that's an ABC right there, but either way, don't matter. I think we're in a wave 505 now. I think there's a pretty good chance we're in a wave five of wave five. Man, yesterday in our live stream, we had a Trump news bomb right in the middle of our live stream. We got to be paying attention for that type of stuff. It was right in the middle of our live stream yesterday when Trump announced that there was going to be 125% tariffs on China. He's not on the news calendar. A lot of times, if you refresh this forex factory news calendar, his name will just show up sometimes. So I don't know. I mean, I would expect it to turn at some point, but in order to know that this is turning, you're probably gonna have to see either a very significant break of structure like this, or you're gonna have to see a very significant lower high like what happened over here, like a very significant lower high. I haven't looked at gold hardly at all since I made the video for it. I often don't trade gold. Mostly because I'm from America, and as an American, you can't trade gold. But I could trade it on my funded account if I wanted to, and I could trade it on my Dow and X account if I wanted to. But yeah, what's the point? As an American, you cannot trade gold on a margin forex account. So, anyways, let's see the pound yen. Pound yen does look like I keep going back and forth on this honestly, but it does look like it's going to go up at some point. Honestly, it looks like it potentially could turn up and make a wave C or B. 2 weeks ago, this is what my analysis was. Probably 4 weeks ago, my analysis was that it was going down. So, like I said, I have been flip flopping on this a little bit, but boy, it does look like it wants to go up. Aussie Swiss is one of the ones that's at all time lows, isn't it? I think it is. The yen is very highly affected by um, the tariffs, obviously. Even if it's just for China, I feel like the yen is pretty highly affected because it's definitely a risk on, risk off currency. So it gets affected a lot just by that alone. I would kind of expect to see another push up, but we are definitely still in a downtrend. And some of these really aggressive spikes we've been having could just be because of the news that we've had been having. You could see a spike like this, kind of like what happened over here, and then it just kind of messes around for a few days, and then eventually it just keeps on drifting down. So this crazy price action could just be because of the news, and this thing could still keep going down. Keeping that in mind, to me, it looks like a complete five waves. One, two, three, four, five, with a breaker structure, barely, but well, maybe not, but looks like a breaker structure. Should be a wave A. You'd kind of expect to see this to go up again, but whether it does that or not, I guess is the question. But I would expect to see like a 61 or 78% fib bounce for an ABC correction, or if it really is the big turn that it could be, it will be pretty obvious because it won't make this shape. It'll more likely make this this shape. So if it's a wave three, it should be pretty obvious it's a wave three because it should be very, very, very bullish when it happens. Pound Aussie. I don't know. I was talking to this just recently with a guy in my group because I'm in this trade and he's also in this trade. It looks like it could be an ABC correction, to be honestly. I know a lot of people think this is going down, but we have to admit that it's still an uptrend on the higher time frames. I don't know. I think that could keep. I think it could go up, but I do have a little bit of a bias because I'm long the Yo Aussie. But to me, it looks like it could go up. It looks like an ABC, man. Look at this thing. Impulsive down, one, two, three up. So impulse. This is like a regular flat almost. One, two, three waves down. One, two, three waves up. Five wave impulsive down. We just need to see a break of structure. This is gonna be over. Definitely looks like it could be. Boy, it is hesitating like something that could possibly turn up too, for sure. We just need some news of some sort. Do we have any Aussie news tonight, or is it just whatever happens? Yeah, tomorrow we got GDP for the pound in the morning, but there's no Aussie news, I don't think, unless it's low-level Aussie news. No, we do have a little bit of low-level Aussie news tonight. Inflation expectations tonight. We also have CPI for China tonight. That's pretty interesting. Oh no, that was last night. Crap. I always do that. Sorry about that. That was last night. Don't pay attention to that. Manufacturing for the Kiwi tonight. No Aussie news though. Aussie was affected big time by that news yesterday. It looks like it could go up, honestly. Like I said, if you see a break of structure, I would definitely hold on to a long because then it's probably going to go up and take out the highs. So if you see that break, it's definitely worth holding on to for a little while. I feel like we're just waiting for another Trump bomb, like we did like what we had yesterday at our live stream yesterday. We gotta keep, it's so hard to keep track with that guy. Just like literally out of nowhere at 6:30 p.m. or 1:30 p.m. in the DC, just out of nowhere, just Trump is like, oh, 125% tariffs. Market starts going wild. Like I was saying before, at least one before, all we had to worry about was Powell. But Powell only really ever said anything when there was a scheduled news event. He didn't really say anything otherwise. So that was pretty predictable. Let's see here. Let me go in order. So Pound Aussie, we did that. Yo Aussie, I'm long the Yo Aussie, so like I said, I probably do have a little bit of a bias. To me, it looks like it could be an expanding flat on the 1 hour, but even if it's a wave B, which it definitely could be a wave B, yeah, it just bounced from the 50% fib. Hasn't really been an engulfing move down yet, at least, but we definitely did get a fib bounce. My bias is up, honestly, though. I feel like this is a flat. It looks like a 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, wait, I see it. 1, 2, 3. Break of structure. End of a trend. 1, 2, 3. Break of structure. End of a correction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Break of structure. End of a wave C. Because you got to remember, wave B is a correction. So you should get an end of a correction signal for a wave B. I don't know, my bias is still up, but I do have longs. I've been long on this twice today because, boy, yesterday was a killer move. I was hoping to see a lot of volatility in this thing today. I got long like right here, and got out like right there, then I got long again here. Now I'm still long, but not for long. If it doesn't just start going up, I will get out definitely because we are at a fib level. It could even if it makes a bigger pullback. I'm pretty aggressively long, so if it makes a bigger pullback, I definitely don't want to be involved in that. So if it doesn't just keep on going up, I'm definitely cutting it for sure. I don't watch that 1 minute time frame. Let's see, 8,200. Yeah, I'm targeting that area too. This is like what you could consider on a higher time frame, say drop, base, drop. So this area right here is definitely going to have to be resistance, I would say. I'll probably take profit there too because, like I said, I'm pretty aggressively long. So if it does continue up, that's probably where I'll take profit also. Aussie Swiss is next, I believe. Hmm. Swiss pair, the Aussie Swiss is at all-time lows, isn't it? Yeah, it is. All-time lows. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, though. That definitely doesn't mean that it needs to turn. You know, how many times has this Aussie Swiss gone all-time lows? This was all-time lows. This was all-time lows. So it probably will turn up. You would definitely think it'd be support, but this is a yearly chart over there, over here. This chart goes all the way back to 1950s, and this is a downtrend that has been going on since 1950s. This is a 75-year-old downtrend. So what does that mean? That means the trend is your Fed and your bias is pretty much always has to be down. It really can't be anything but down. Obviously, this moves to the upside, but yeah, anytime you see a move to the upside, you can trade it to the upside, but you have to kind of assume that it could just be a crescent to the downtrend. Let's see, get rid of a couple of these fibs. I would almost think that it would bounce. I would think that it would go up. It definitely did break some minor structure, so my bias would be long, if that's what you're thinking. My bias would definitely have to be long. But boy, that's a pretty impulsive move to. Yeah, on the 1 hour, I guess it ain't quite so bad. But boy, that's a beautiful looking uptrend right there. Look at that. It's a pizza perfect uptrend. One, two, three, four, five. That's pizza perfect right there. Which means that this is probably going to be a correction to the last 5 waves up. That could be a wave one, or it could be a wave A. Either way, the wave C is pretty tradable, that's for sure, if that's what it does. So, anyways, let's see here. Let's keep it going. If anybody has any requests, put them in the chats. I'd be more than happy to look at anything. I'll look at crypto, I'll look at stock market, indices, whatever. I like to do these live streams because it kind of gives me a chance to interact with my audience and stuff and kind of take requests because I do just analyze the same, what is it, 6, 7, 8 pairs every day or whatever. So it kind of gives people a chance to ask for things that I don't analyze on a daily basis. Pound dollar for Andrew. My bias would be down on the pound dollar too. It looks like a complete 5 wave trend. Looks like it already broke structure. Looks like it should be in a way B. Gold. Did I skip gold? Pasta? I might have. Yeah, gold will be next. I might have skipped gold. If I did, I'm sorry. Yeah, no problem, Zen. Hopefully it helps. A lot of these pairs I don't trade on a daily basis, but I try to keep up with everything because it's very useful for other people, especially for my members and stuff, because I do a daily live stream for the and I do a members forecast on the daily, weekly, monthly time frame, telling them my directional bias on all the pairs that I follow, which is all the pairs on this list except for the indices and oil and natural gas. So, anyways, pound dollar. I would kind of expect this move up to be a correction to this last move down. We are definitely at a Fibonacci level. If it turns, go for it. If it doesn't turn, don't go for it. This is like such a misconception that I feel like people that follow me don't really understand because people will see me draw this. They'll be like, oh, look, I'll say a Fibonacci level. If we get a break of structure to the downside, I would sort it because then it's going to go down. So people see me draw this picture right here and they're like, holy shit, go sort. That's not what I'm saying. I said if it breaks down, you have to understand your structure. That right there is the last swing low. That means that this is not proven to be going down unless it breaks and holds below that low. If it goes down a little bit, that doesn't mean a damn thing. It could make another higher low, and go right back up. So definitely be careful of that. That's where a lot of people get trapped because a lot of these moves they don't break these counter trend moves don't break structure, but sometimes they do look like real turns, but then they never break structure and then they just go in the original direction. Never break structure and just go in the original direction. So definitely be careful of that. That's pretty dangerous, definitely. Let's see. US dollar Swiss can bounce back. Yeah, I kind of already covered the dollar Swiss, but let me check gold because Pastor did ask for it a while back, and I think I might have skipped it. And it went all the way back up to all-time highs. Betting against gold is like such a bad bet. Anybody that's been following me for a long time knows that I really hate recommending shorts on gold because one of the guys in my group said it best. Gold has been in an uptrend since he's been alive, and he's like in his 50s, so that's a long time. Obviously, gold is in an uptrend. Gold is extremely clearly a wave one, a wave two, in my opinion, also, which means that a wave three projection is right here, which is $3,275. We are currently not even close to that area, so I'm definitely overall still bullish. The problem arrives is when you go down to the sort of time frames, right? This is where the problem arises on gold because you see something like this, and you're like, this is what I was saying this week. I was like, okay, this could be a wave A. If we get a break of structure to the downside at a Fibonacci level, I would definitely take it as a short. And so what did it do? It made one impulsive up, one corrective down. I was like, okay, if this is a wave C, then it will break structure at a Fibonacci level. But instead, what did it do? It made a higher low, it made a higher low, a higher low, a higher low, a higher low. There was no breaker structure at a Fibonacci level. So there was never a reason to go short in any big way whatsoever. And obviously, when it went beyond the 78 and 88%, that pretty much invalidates the ABC anyways. The problem is I have a hard time calling it a flat because it doesn't look like a flat. This 100% looks like five waves up to me, so I really don't think you can call this an ABC. I don't think it's an ABC. So what does that mean? That means that this still could be a wave B, or it's just a motor wave correction because now it's going to make a run for that $3,275 area that we've been looking at. Definitely. Like I said, I have a really hard time recommending shorts ever on the shorter time frames. Yeah, obviously, there's some shorts that would pay out, but shorts on gold is not a great idea. Yeah, I was actually recommending people to go short down here too in my group. I was saying that if you see a higher low, go long. When this thing was going up and started to come down, I said, if you see a higher low, go long because the trend is up on every single time frame. I didn't take this trade because I hardly ever trade gold, and I'm an American. I really don't trade gold because you can't trade gold as an American with a margin account. But I did recommend this trade to all of my premium members in my group. I said, if you see a higher low, go long. If anybody is interested in my website membership, it is only $30 a month. There's a short video on the homepage of my website that explains everything about the benefits. So watch that video if you're interested. It's only like a 10-minute video, so check that out if you're interested in finding out what the benefits are. The website is fxpitcollector.com. The link for that will be in the chats, but the link for my free Discord channel will also be in there. The Discord channel itself is 100% free. You do not ever have to pay a dime for that. The Discord channel is free. The website membership is only $30 a month. And I do sell all my trades with my group at the time of entry. Yeah, I don't know if it's the euro yen's going to complete a wave C either. It kind of looks. The problem is all the other yen pairs are still really bearish. So yeah. So what is next? US dollar Swiss. I mean, we're at all-time lows right now, but that definitely doesn't mean it's going to bounce. It probably will bounce eventually, but is it eventually 2 days from now, or is eventually 2 months from now? Right? We don't know. What happened last time? Some of these pairs took out all-time lows. This right here went into all-time lows. What did it do? It went down for another 12 months before it bounced. This isn't even all-time lows, but just keep in mind, just because you see an important area get taken out does not mean that it is a. I can trade gold pasture on my funded account, and I can trade gold on my EU account that I have now. I spent like 12 years not trading gold because I'm an American, so I never, when you don't have the privilege of trading it, you don't really miss it because you don't really care because you're not allowed to trade it. So, I never really cared. It never bothered me any. There's 34 currency pairs. So missing out on gold was never a big deal because there's 34 other pairs that you can trade. So I never really cared now about gold, missing out on gold. I definitely would be recommending shorts on the US dollar Swiss, unless you see some sort of a really aggressive break of structure to the upside, then I would start looking for longs. Until then, it's definitely shorts all the way. I don't know, the US dollar again still looks like it wants to go up to me, honestly. I still think it's a 1, 2, 3 coming. The question is when, the timing on these things is the part that's hard because you can be 100% right about this analysis right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the daily. But you got to keep in mind from start to finish, this trend is probably going to take what, months? So on the 1 hour time frame, when is it going to turn up? I mean, it's probably going to turn up at some sort of important news event or something. But besides that, the timing is the hard part. I kind of feel like it's already over, honestly. I think we already had an A. I think we already had a B. I think we already had a C. I think it's already over. I think it's gonna keep drifting up, keep making its way up. higher highs, higher low type thing. That's definitely what I think would happen. Hopefully this starts stretching out into a 1, 2, 3. Market is extremely slow right now. I just feel like there's a Trump bomb just itching to be dropped like yesterday. The market over the last hour or two has been pretty slow going, which is actually pretty normal for this time of day. That's why I do these live streams this time of day, is because usually, 6 p.m. UK time, the market's slow down. So if I'm trading, then I'm not really trading that much after 6 p.m. UK time because the markets do slow down a lot until Asian session. Um, I always recommend this to the people in my group that are scalpers. The best time to scalp is almost always in between these overlaps. If the London New York overlap, and then the Sydney and the Tokyo overlap is also a good time to trade. These are the times that you should be trading on the very short time frames, unless you know that there's news outside of those times or there's some sort of Trump bomb getting dropped. Then you definitely want to be scalping in between those times. Otherwise, you could be trading in a very quiet market, which I guess if you like range trading the 1 minute time frame, then that might be good for you. But otherwise, it's probably not too good. I would be recommending longs. I would be looking for longs unless proven otherwise. Definitely. Yeah, pound CAD. We got the Aussie dollar, and then we'll do the pound CAD. Aussie's been wild, huh? Phew. Aussie dollar just bounced off a Fibonacci level on the monthly time frame. We just made a 78% fib bounce of this whole last impulsive move up from over here. Whether or not that 100% means it's going to turn or not, I mean, we never know, but definitely seems like in a very important area. The only thing that's going to prove to me that we have completely turned into an uptrend is a break of these highs right here. And not just a soft break, but like a nice solid break of these highs is going to prove that this wave X on the monthly time frame is over and that we are in a move to the upside that will last years, not just months, most likely years. Otherwise, we don't really know that, do we? We can go down to the 1 hour time frame and speculate that it's going up like that, but we don't really know, do we? Why can't this move up be another crutch into this last wave down? It definitely can. I kind of hope it does go up a big structure. I mean, I'll give you that, but put your Fibonacci retracement on there. If you see a breaking structure to the downside at a Fibonacci level, especially if it's some sort of a three-way pattern, then then it most likely is a crutch into the downtrend. Most so far, it's actually one wave up. So even if it does break down, it's probably going to be a crutch into the next to this wave up. It's going up right now, but I would kind of expect this to go down for either a wave two or wave B. But this is another thing I was talking about today in my Zoom meeting. I don't know why the Discord link doesn't work for some people because it works for pretty much everybody else. That's weird. Try the one in my description, see if that one works. That's weird. My Discord link definitely works for pretty much everybody, but every once in a while somebody will tell me that it doesn't work for them. Now, the thing I was mentioning today to people in my group was that if this really is a big bottom, if this really is the bottom of a wave X on the monthly time frame, then it needs to be so obvious. And the only way it's going to be so obvious is if this thing maintains momentum and just goes up and breaks and holds above all this structure. That's what's going to make it obvious. Unless that happens, we don't really know that it's not a crutch into the downtrend. Hopefully it does do that, but we don't know that, do we? So if we get a break of structure down at a Fibonacci level, if it goes up, makes a double top, break structure, it's probably back down for at least now. Pound CAD. Hmm. Huh, yeah, I'll check it out. That's weird. I don't know why it does that. It's very odd because it definitely works for me. It definitely works for people I've asked to test it for me. Yeah, definitely works. For me, at least. Might not work for you, but it definitely works for me. Sorry about that. I'll try to figure out why the link doesn't work for some people. I'm gonna have to Google it or whatever. There must be a reason for it. There must be a reason why it doesn't work for some people. I don't know. Maybe it's where you live. I don't know. Could be where you live, I guess, but it seems like they wouldn't care about that. I would still be keeping an eye on this just in case it really is a correction. I mean, we are at the 61%, but it's almost kind of stretching out to the point where it doesn't even look like a correction anymore. I'll Google it and find out why. And Tuesday on my live stream, if there is a reason, I'll let you know, or I will have a new link for us. My next live stream is on Tuesday. I do them 3 days a week. I do them Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It looks like an ABC on the 4 hour time frame to me. It looks like a 78% fib bounce. The only thing we're missing is a bigger structure to the outside. Kind of a common theme around here, isn't it? Fibonacci bounce, break a structure. Until you get that break a structure, you don't really know. There's really nothing wrong with entering before you get a break a structure if you're confident. But if you do enter before you get a break a structure, you need to keep an eye on that thing. Don't let it turn down and go against you because it could just keep going down. Hey, Carl, yeah, did I skip that one for you, buddy? That's a weird pair. It's definitely not something I normally analyze, but I can definitely look at it again for you. I would imagine it's still up, isn't it? I don't know. I'll check it out for you. US dollar yen is sorts all the way for now, at least. Wow, look at that. Holy crap, huh? Look at that price action. Jesus. This is the daily time frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trading days in a row of nothing but manipulation. Jesus, huh? That's not cool. Definitely shorts all the way, though. Look at this thing. It's actually an ABC on the sort of typeface. It's like an expanding wave B and then a wave C. Now this is a downtrend. Unless it breaks some sort of significant structure, shorts all the way for me. That's for sure. Trend is my friend for sure on stuff like that. I got a target way down here for the US dollar again. Not even close to my target. It might even go down to here too, so it might actually go quite a ways beyond that. So that's definitely bearish for me all the way. Pullback entries for sure. Not very nice pullback entries, but definitely pullback entries. Yeah, let's see. Well, let me get to the other pairs because we already looked at gold, but I will circle back to it if I complete everybody else's requests. Let me see here. Yeah, I can tune back to it most likely. I gotta look at something for Carl. Adrian has the US dollar CAD. Oh man, US dollar CAD took out the lows. I didn't enter this trade luckily, but I know a few people that did, and I honestly would have been recommending longs. And I'm kind of sad that it's going down because that definitely invalidates my analysis of this being an ABC correction. Well, it's kind of, I mean, I didn't trade it, so I didn't really lose any money, but I definitely didn't enter short like I wanted to, which is a little disappointing for sure. It looks like it's in a wave three to me. My target on the US dollar CAD is probably about the 1 point, maybe 1.20. 1.20 would be my target. So very bearish. Very, very bearish. I was hoping that we were going to get a push up for a nice A, B, C, and then we were going to go short and make a ton of money. But that's okay. We can still, you don't have to have FOMO on these type of things because that 1.2 target isn't going to happen instantly. It's going to do all kinds of zigzags along the way. It's not just going to go down to there. It's probably gonna do something like this. Do 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 boop boop. Just keep on going down. So there'll be plenty of opportunities to get in that baby, in my opinion. But I would definitely be recommending shorts. I will fully admit that I thought it was gonna go up, but this is another example of why you need to pay attention because there was no entry in my eyes. I know it's hard because people just don't want to wait for the break of structure, but look at this. One, two, three, four, five. This still looks to me like a perfect setup, even though I know now that it's not. One, two, three, four, five down. Little one, two, three up. So wave A, wave B. One, two, three, four, five. 78% fib bounce. Where's your 78% fib bounce? Was there a break of structure? Let me clear this out. Was there ever a break of structure to the upside? Or did it continue to make lower lows? There was no entry. It totally looked like there was going to be an entry. Like, it totally looked like there was going to be an entry. But there never was an entry. So, unfortunately, it's a tough lesson to learn if you get in early. I mean, I've learned that lesson hundreds of times probably over the last 15 years because I've been trading since 2009. So I've done it myself many and many of times. But the market will tell you when these patterns are over if you're patient enough to wait for it. Let's see. Let me look at that Yo any NOK for cow. Excuse me. I need a. You go to the Yo pairs. Geez, look at that. That's an expanding ABC cow. I hope you've been long on this. You've asked me to look at it a few times, so I hope you're long. I definitely would still be recommending this area up here. I don't remember what I said last time because this is definitely not a pair I follow, but I'm pretty sure I said look for longs or hold on to your longs. That is definitely an ABC correction. One, two, three waves down, wave A. One, two, three waves up, wave B, higher high, wave B than the previous trend. One, two, three, four, five, break of structure on the trend. You know that the trend is over because of the break of structure. Wave A, wave B, wave C, higher high, wave B, lower low, wave C. And look, you didn't have to try to jump the gun and predict when the trend was over. Why? Because if you were patient, you would have seen it go down impulsively. You would have said, oh, that could be a wave C. Now I need to wait for either a break of structure or a higher low. And you're like, okay, I'm patient, I'm patient, I'm patient, I'm patient. Oh, higher low. I'm entering long. Bam, there you go. So I do the same thing too. I mean, I jump the gun sometimes, but the market will usually give you an opportunity to get in these ends of corrections if you allow it to. Definitely. And like I said, my target on this is still the 78% fib, definitely. It might even go way beyond that, honestly. Now the tariffs are done, I don't know. Maybe the NLK will calm down a little bit, but I would still be targeting that 12.4, definitely. 12.4 would definitely be my target. So let me circle back. Enlightened monk. I'm sorry, monk. Enlightened monk. Bleh. Say that 10 times faster, man. Let me check out gold. I mean, obviously it continued up. It definitely still could be a way B. To be honest with you, I would actually switch up my Fibonacci, and I would use this now. I would use the Fibonacci with the extra levels, the flat levels that you can look up in any of the Elliott wave books. But a regular flat turns out to 90 and 105%. A expanding flat, I usually don't really like to say this type of stuff in live streams, but an expanding flat goes to the 138, 123. And a regular flat goes to the 105 or the 90. A running flat or an expanding flat will go to this area. There's also targets for an expanding flat, and there's targets for a running flat also, usually 100% of wave A. So it still could be a wave B. Just because it broke the highs doesn't mean that it couldn't be. But My target is still 3,275, so I don't think I would like to recommend shorts unless you were really convinced it was going down with some big breaker structure. Even over here, it gave you a chance, right? I mean, I always talk about patience. Sometimes you gotta take your own advice, obviously, but here's the breaker structure, right? Here's the impulsive down, here's your breaker structure. And then you have to say to yourself, okay, now I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna wait for a three-way pullback. Probably I'm gonna throw my Fibonacci retracement on the last impulsive down. Then I'm gonna get in on the three-way pullback to the downside. So if you see that, but over here, then definitely start looking for shorts. Why not? Otherwise, man, it is long. Like I said, I didn't get in this trade, but I did recommend this trade to a few people in my group because I was expecting it and it was a higher low. I told several people when this thing was going down, I was like, if that makes a higher low, get in. It's probably going to be a good trade because the trend is literally up on every single time frame. I'm 40 years old and the trend has been up way longer than I've been alive. That's for sure. I was born in 83 or 84. I'm sorry, 84. Don't even know. So this has been an uptrend since way before that. That's for sure. The problem with gold is anytime you start thinking it's going down, you have to keep in mind, like, if you're scalping to the short side, fine, do it, whatever. But if you're thinking that you're like position trading or sorting it in any big way whatsoever, you have to keep in mind that the monthly is in one of the strongest uptrends I've personally ever seen. The weekly is in one of the strongest uptrends I've personally ever seen. The daily is in one of the biggest uptrends ever. No breaker structure, no lower high. The 4 hour is back up at all-time highs and in one of the biggest uptrends ever. The problem with retail traders is they see an uptrend and they think they should go short. And I do get it that you definitely could have made some money here. You could have made a little money there, a little money there. But wouldn't it be more important to make big money here, some good money there, some big money here? In my eyes, I think it'd be way more important, but it's hard to get that through for sure. So unfortunately, I would definitely would be recommending longs. I guess depending on what it does, if it bounces from one of these areas, then okay, try to short it if you want. Don't really recommend it, but you can definitely try. Does anybody else have any requests to finish us off or what? Let's see here. Pretty much looked at everything, I think. No big old bomb cells tonight from Trump. I was kind of hoping there would be, honestly. Yeah, stock market did go down quite a bit today, but nothing too crazy. We'll see. I could go down, make new lows again. Yeah, everything recovered from that big move that we had. Oil went up a lot yesterday, but now it's like down to at least 50% of that move up. Natural gas went up a lot yesterday, and now it's down to like 78% of that move up. Yeah, no problem. I do these live streams every single Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Now, I do live streams with my premium members 4 times a week. I do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We do a 2 hour, up 90-minute to 2 hour Zoom meeting every day. And I do it at 1 p.m. in the afternoon UK time because that's when the news always comes out. So, like today, the CPI news, we were in a Zoom meeting together when the CPI news came out today. And we're always, looking for potential trades. I give everybody my opinion about what direction I think it's going in. If I do get in a trade, everybody in the group knows about it. They know my stop loss. They know my entry. So I share everything with my group, the good and the bad. So if anybody's interested, the link for that is fxpitcollector.com. It is only $30 a month, so definitely check it out. It's very, very cheap. Um, if you haven't done so already, definitely do join my free Discord channel. That is 100% free to join. You do not have to pay a dime if you do not want to on that. So, anyways, I guess we're going to see you guys all on Tuesday. Tuesday is my next live stream. So, if you want to stop in on Tuesday and if you have something you want me to look at, put it in the chats. I'd be more than happy to take a look. If you join my free Discord channel and send me a message, I can always answer some questions there also. So, anyways, I hope everybody has a great evening. And as always, thank you for watching and happy trading to everyone.